And we're off and running.
And we're back. So I guess we had the dry test run.
Start again.
Start again. Good old tech. Welcome everyone to another episode of 90's Mags. I'm your host, Jefferson. Those of you that don't know me, I was saying that I am not D-Man. He couldn't be with us today. So if you are watching D-Man, big up, big up, big up. For anybody else that's new, please make sure you give us a like and subscribe. Share it with your loved ones, your nearest and dearest, your friends. We need that support. We're trying to chase 500. We're very nearly there, so let's keep it pushing. But yeah, if you're in the house, pay your rent. Make sure you hit those likes. We are laden with some talent today with us. As you can see on the top row, we got the Toon fans, and on the bottom row, we got them darn gooners. And I've got the happy clapper in chief, the mighty Win, hosting with me today. So welcome, Win. Welcome to the house. How you
Thank
feeling?
you. Good to be here.
Yeah,
How am I feeling? Not very well, as you would imagine.
yeah. You cooled down after the roasting.
Have I cooled down? It's the rest of the bedwetters that need to cool down. Talk about overreaction. Hey, man.
Wow,
You know,
wow.
so we got beat in the dying minutes. Okay, again. So this season we've been beaten by the top two in the league. Disaster, isn't it? Absolute disaster. Nonsense. We will be fine. We've played all bar 2 games without a striker. And when we've got a striker on the pitch, we're doing okay. There you go. That's my initial take till we see what happens next. And by the way, we should have won because we should have had a penalty.
Fair play. And by the way, I can see the chat's popping off, so big up everyone in the chat.
The chat will be popping off, all right.
I can see Ashley in there. So big up Mighty Mag as always, legend. Thanks everyone for joining us. So we're gonna keep it moving. Dom, thanks for coming through.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for trooping the colour. Yeah, what did you make of today?
Like, I've seen this game happen so many times before. We get a lead somehow after not being in the game to sort of turn the tide of the game. Then we'll play all right for a little bit. And then Eddie's like, you know what? We're going to try and shut up shop for the rest of the game. Brings on all of our centre-backs. Takes Dan Burn from left-back to centre-back. Puts him back out to left-back. And then with 4 centre-backs on the field, we concede 2 headers. I'm done with it, man.
Gut busting. Lift up that chin, bro. We're gonna get into it deep today. Don't worry. We're gonna come back at these boys because, as you can see, we've got 3 gooners with us. I'm gonna start with Cav because Cav is no stranger to the channel. Welcome, Cav, from the Red Pitch podcast. Big up, big up. What are you saying?
Cheers, man. Thanks for having me. Is my volume all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm good. And listen, I know what you're saying, Win, about you should have had a penalty, but to be fair, I think our one was a penalty as well because if you look at Embuemo against Sanchez, Man United Chelsea last week, same thing happened. Sanchez touched the ball before he touched Embuemo, and that was a penalty and a red card. So what's the kind of rules there?
That's the thing with
one,
referees,
none for
isn't it?
another.
There's no consistency in decision making. So
Exactly. But yeah, I'm happy, man. I was 10 minutes ago. I'm not gonna lie, I was fuming because I was thinking that first half we were so dominant the first 35 minutes or so, and for us to not score, I just thought it's gonna be one of those.
Welcome to the club, as we were in our first 3 games.
yeah, exactly. But listen, man, I'm happy, man, and I'm happy it was Gabriel as well. After all the little commotion with Voltamade in the first half, I'm happy it was Gabby that got the winner.
Happy's still on the pitch,
Wait.
you mean?
He's a melt,
He's a
mate.
shit house.
He's a
He's
melt.
an
He
absolute
struggled. He
shit house.
struggled with Volta Messi, didn't he? But we'll come to that. But yeah, thanks for coming through, Cav. Now I'm gonna introduce.
That was Gamerish. Remember Gamerish a couple of years ago on Jorginho, yeah?
He's like,
You
get
remember
up,
that?
get up, get up, get up. Boy, I'm gonna introduce Cez and Nathan now, and big up boys because you lot have supported the channel as well. You've always been in the chat, and we've been going at it in the group for months, and today is your day. So, welcome to the 90's Mags. Big up yourselves. What did you make of today's game?
Nice one. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you invited us to this at the start of the season and conveniently forgot earlier, Jeff, that we were on it. We were waiting to come on today.
Couldn't
Got
wait.
nervous energy, I can't lie. But, you know what? I think some of the criticism on Newcastle and Eddie Howe's a bit harsh. Like, I think he almost pulled it off. He almost done one of those performances that Arteta's been trying to do in the big games, and he almost got away with it. But yeah, it's never fun seeing a team at home play like that, park the bus. I get it, but he almost pulled it off, and we weren't great. Like we were more attacking than we have been in recent games, which was good to see. But something quite worrying about Gyökeres and the fluidity of our team, still not quite clicking. But I'm super pleased to have won that game in the manner that we won that game. That kind of ugly win. It's like we've hopefully broke a bit of a curse against this Newcastle team that just seems to, get us in this way. But yeah, hopefully, I'm pleased that we've won it in that way because now we can put this team to bed. So, but yeah, a lot to say about the penalty decisions. I'm sure we'll probably get there, so I don't want to start too fast. But yeah, I can relax tonight. I can sleep tonight. That was a stressful 90 minutes for an Arsenal fan.
Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Trust me, we're gonna get into it. Thanks for that, Nathan. What are you saying?
Listen, I'm so happy. Time after time after time, we have these games where afterwards we're talking about, how much possession we had and how many entries in the opposition's box we had and all these other statistics that don't matter except the one that matters, goals for and goals against. So I'm so happy that we managed to put it out of the bag. I'm conscious of how the result might color my sort of analysis of how the game went, so I'm trying to be as measured as possible. But yeah, I'm over the moon with the result. I feel like a draw might have been a fair result, but if one of the teams deserved to nick it, it would have been us rather than Newcastle, if that makes any sense. But yeah, just over the moon.
Yeah, I could see it with the celebrations. It looked like, the Gooners on the pitch were over the moon as well. Maybe it links to what Cez was saying about lifting this curse. Maybe you guys didn't think you were going to win today. Do you know what I mean? Because of our recent history against you guys. But
do you know what it is though,
yeah.
Jeff? It's I don't think it's just this game. It's the amount of times we've had those games where we quote unquote deserved to win, but didn't quite sort of get there. And I think we've just there's a cumulative sort of, I don't know, we're just a bit fed up of deserving to win and not really getting it over the line. So, also I think in the context of a title challenge and having Liverpool, have some wins perhaps they didn't deserve to pull out of the bag, and just seeing them get luck after luck after luck, and conversely having some real poor decisions go against us, key injuries, just feel like just cursed in general. So I feel like to sit here and just feel lucky is, it's top. And we've got a good run of games coming, so let's see what we can do.
Boy, so I guess your alias for us, anyone that watched WWE in the 90s, is like Papa Shango FC. That's how we're rolling with Arsenal. All right, so let's get into it. All you lot in the chat, keep that bubbling over. Myself and Win will go through your comments in a bit. So I think as we get into the game, let's have a look at the lineups. Let's talk about the lineups. I'm going to start with us as the home side. So Dom, Win, I want to hear what you guys thought about the formation and who's in.
We're gonna echo.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hello, hello, hello.
Hello there. How's it going, fellas? Nate, Cav, says up there, proper Arsenal fans. But I have a bone to pick with my own fan base. First of all, he ran away earlier. It was good that he came on this
No,
one.
I didn't run away.
Definitely. You know when he made the reference to the WWE before? This feels like Chris coming down the ramp with the steel chair, ready to go on to the win.
I should have popped in.
Raw, innit? This is Monday
I should have
Night Raw.
popped in with the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass break. But if I may, because I can only be on for a few minutes, I got the kids downstairs. But if I may, man, congrats on the win. By the way, you deserved it. No, I mean it says there, trying to play it nice, but you deserved the win. The whole from beginning to end. If we won, it would have been one of those football wins, but we didn't deserve to win. We got lucky. Tonali crossed the ball, marvelous. That's one positive thing that you can take out of this game, that he needs to be in charge of every set piece from now on. And then obviously Walter Mata, 2 out of 2. He gets 2 touches every time he scores. Like that. Plain and simple. Great. But we can't keep doing this, man. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep playing like this. We're going 100 miles per hour, expecting not to wreck every game. And I see an issue there. And fans, like Win, don't see that. They said we deserve to win, he said. Burn was man of the match, followed by Jonathan. What game are we watching here?
No,
what game are we watching? So that's my question to you.
I was watching the same game as you.
To the man who we've got into it earlier on, but I love the mighty win. He's my main guy, but he is completely wrong. He's lost it. Your love and your obsession with Eddie Howe and Dan Burn has completely destroyed you. You cannot see straight anymore. You are a Howe sexual. You're out the closet. There's some Arteta sexuals out there. I watch some of you. But man, what? Come on, Win. Explain to me what you didn't even know. Tonali crossed that ball for Walter Mata to score.
Yeah, you said it was Dan Burn.
That was because Dan Burn put a beautiful cross in just a few minutes beforehand.
Statistically, by the way, Joelinton and Dan Burn were the worst 2 players on the field outside of Gyökeres.
That'll be Sofa score, is it?
It is, yeah.
But
when the stats go for you,
let me guess. Who scored the goal? So Voldemort will be the top rating.
Voldemort. No, it was Tonali that got our best rating. No,
anybody who scores a
Tonali
goal
was best
automatically
outfielder.
gets a top rating on Sofa score, regardless of how they've played. But that's by the
but
by anyway.
Why at the end of the game? Why are we defending like that? First, why Pope tries to play fast when the game is over? What are you trying to do? Trying to win the game?
At the end of the game, first of all, we'd lost Livramento, so a change needed to be made. So what would you have done? So I've heard numerous complaints now about Lascelles coming on for Livramento.
That made no sense.
But I don't have
right. So who would you have brought on?
Kraft.
But you could say that, but we it's over. The game is over though. The game is over.
Pope was your best player, right?
What was that says?
Pope was your best player.
Until he lost the game at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Until he lost the game.
Even with that, he was like only outstanding performer. I can't remember.
When Pope does so much, it feels harsh to blame him at the end. Like he did fuck up.
No, you true. Actually, because I got Dan Burn is to blame.
Pope,
if it wasn't for Pope, we'd lose about 5.
Wait, one of you, you're all coming in. One of you.
Nick Pope, we know that Nick Pope is a fantastic shot stopper and utterly rubbish at distribution of any description. So we know that all along. Now, what is the keeper's main job?
He did amazing. He did amazing. That has nothing. He did amazing. But Dan Burn, 6'7", lets Gabriel. How tall is Gabriel, lads? Down there?
6'1". 6'1".
All he has to do is jump, man. All he has to do is jump.
Again, I've looked at that goal a few times now, and as daft as it sounds, it was Harvey Barnes who was actually marking him.
6'3".
Which is crackers anyway.
Everybody else but the man.
But you know,
Listen,
We'll get onto that. We might as
Yeah.
well get onto it, because Chris, just before you did your Stone
Yeah.
Cold Steve Austin entrance, we were literally about to get into team selection. So as you're not going to be here that long, do you want to quickly just let us know, what did you feel about the formation and Eddie's team selection?
before the kickoff.
They were bad, and I said it before the kickoff. And see, this is the thing, because I thought if there's no way he's going to play Burn left back, because Bukayo Saka done him over multiple times. Actually, I criticized Arteta in the commentary. I thought, if you want to win the game, you do it. You attack Burn, and he didn't go there as often as I would have thought he would. And I thought, I mean, Burn couldn't keep up, plain and simple. So I thought, Eddie Howe's not going to do that. Surely not. I mean, you know, he can't do that. So I thought he's going to do 3 at the back, and then Livermento and Murphy, because he has done it before. He's going to have those 2 wing backs to go back and forth, and of course the rest is they were, but he didn't. 4-3-3. Burn is a left back. Total abomination. I mean,
this is the thing, though, Chris.
It didn't work. Yeah,
like people talk about Eddie Howe learning and saying that
he's not learning. He's been in Premier League 4 or 5 years now, man.
Happened in the last Champions League season when he played Burn left back against Nottingham Forest and got ripped by Alanga. He played them against Luton and he got ripped by Ogbene. He doesn't learn. Why not play Burn at left back against Bradford and play Hall at left back against Arsenal? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and so that's why I say it went downhill from that. And in Arsenal, were the better team from beginning to end. Pope kept us alive.
Yous were fantastic. You Arsenal fans on the panel have been super critical. Yous were class. Eze, by the way, what a signing for yous.
But you finally got. But they finally there was a criticism from Arsenal fans. They finally put Eze as a 10 instead of Odegaard, and now that's going to be the issue, right? That's going to be the conundrum. Listen, I got to go, but
thanks,
I mean,
I'm a big Eze fan.
Yeah, lads.
But I thought he was
Chris.
invisible first off.
Keep him to account, please.
We'll do.
You said Eze he forced Pope into 2 world-class saves.
Yeah.
How did he not do anything?
Well, I think when we look at the lineup, it starts to look like, you know, risking the likes of Bruno and Joe Linton, for instance, against Bradford was a mistake, because they then can't give you that extra 10-20% you need in a high intensity game such as this, high stakes game. So you start to think the squad management is then poor, or do we not have a squad that is fit for purpose, which I think we'll get into a little bit later on, because I do think we're starting to see something occur that in terms of our transfer business, where you could see, for example, Arsenal have significantly strengthened their squad, and perhaps ours maybe not as much as we thought, but we'll come to that later. Arsenal boys, what did you make of your starting lineup? Obviously, Gyökeres at the apex. We've heard about Eze coming into the team. Was you kind of feeling a bit buoyant when you looked at the starting lineup?
Immediately, the first thing that stood out to me was, Mosquera's in for Saliba. What's happened for Saliba? Is he trying to be a bit too clever, or is he just managing an injury and whatnot? And I think Mosquera looked a bit shaky in stages. I think that the crowd there at the at Newcastle's ground, may have impacted his play, but bringing Saliba on. And I remember when he first broke through, everyone was saying what a player that is, and I agree. But I think there's levels. I'd say the same about Saka. When Noni came to Arsenal from Chelsea, everyone was like, "Oh, maybe he might be pushing Saka for his place a little bit." But this was kind of vindication on as far as I'm concerned. Let's remember who's who, and let's remember sort of levels. Like Saliba is him. When he came on, he showed the difference. And showed levels. So in terms of Eze in the 10, I think we've been calling for that, or Eze in midfield rather. I've been calling for that to play more centrally. I actually don't mind him in either. I think he can kind of, as long as you can find room for him, he can come in off the left and find those pockets. I think it's more about the team sort of moving around for him and creating the space. I didn't love that Trossard started, but with the injuries being the way they are, what are your alternatives? You can throw on Max Dowman, who's 15, or or Martinelli, who I would argue is even more of a super sub than Trossard is. So
Dalman did all right against us in pre-season.
yeah, I remember Joe Linton smashing him within 10 minutes. That was very amusing. But yeah, I just feel like with someone like Dalman, just managing him through, picking the right games for him, and I would say Newcastle away wouldn't be the game that I would throw him into the cauldron like that. So overall, okay. Guy Perez can only do what we can do. Havertz is injured. I would have preferred Havertz in a game like this. Actually, think Guy Perez did okay. He did better than I expected in terms of sort of having a fight with the centre halves and holding the ball up, etc. He kind of got better as the game wore on. But I think if I had my choice starting, I would have started with Havertz if he was fit. But yeah, I think we probably picked the best lineup that we could have done, bar Saliba.
Yeah. Thank you. You go for it, Kev.
Yeah, okay. For me, I kind of understood Mascara starting ahead of Saliba, because Saliba obviously came back from injury. He played 90 against City, 90 against Port Vale, and to me, Saliba still doesn't look 100% fit. Anyway, I still think he's a bit off it. He did do well. That slip, when he came on, Voltamade, obviously it was the offside, but that slip he kind of had that led to Voltamade hitting the crossbar. That's probably the only error he made since coming on. But I think the 45 was good for him. Zubamendi, I'm not sure about Zubamendi in this game.
That little chip over the top was delicious, though, wasn't it?
Good
save
that
from
was
Kobe.
beautiful, brilliant save. I feel, for me, I've always said I wanted to see Rice back in the six, because we bought him playing a six for West Ham, and he's most dominant in the sixth position. So we paid all that money, and then to move him into the 8, I just think it's not really a good idea from Arteta. But for me, I've always said Rice in the 6. I'd love to see Odegaard in the 8, in the left 8, and then Eze in the 10. I don't think Odegaard is a 10 at all. I think he had a season where he played in the 10 and he was all right. It wasn't too bad, but I think overall, performance-wise, I see him as more of an 8. Trossard, I kind of understood Trossard starting. I felt that, it was a thing where he thought with Martinelli's pace, kind of save him for the last 20 or so minutes to come on when everyone's tired, kind of run in behind like he did against City last week. Apart from that, I thought the squad was all right. Eze was good. Timber was all right. I feel like I want to see Skelly start though now ahead of Calafiori. I feel like Skelly just does that bit more, especially going forward in the transition and stuff like that. But yeah, man, listen, we got the, like we said, we got the win. That's the most important thing at the end of the day, is the 3 points in it. So yeah, I still think Arteta.
That's what counts.
I think he needs to go though. Personally, Arteta. I think his time's up.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay, so
win that standards. Yeah,
we
need some more of that.
We're gonna come on to the managers. I think closer towards the
Arteta
end.
spent £1 billion in 7 years and hasn't won.
I've spoken to Cez about this particularly, and him and another friend of mine, Marco, disagree with me. But we'll come to all the managers and that in a bit. Cez, I'm going to come to you. Bukayo Saka, Newcastle United fan. How do you think he did today?
Say that again. Bukayo Saka's Newcastle United fan.
Newcastle United fan, yeah.
Whoa.
Did you not know that? Did you not know that? Did you know? And him too. And him too.
He's dad.
And him too.
Poor kid, man.
How do you think he did? How do you think he did
He
today?
must have been a sad kid. I feel sorry for him now. He went through some tough times to make him the man that he is now. Boy. Nah, you know what? Saka's star boy Saka, one of our own. If you can't claim him as a Newcastle fan, we're gonna have to check this out. Someone in the chat.
Him and his dad. Him and his dad. Swear down.
Yeah.
Regardless. No, in terms of like what's been said about the team selection, I think it's been covered a bit, but I agree about seeing Odegaard in that 8, especially when we played the teams that do what Newcastle did today, that kind of deep line block. Like, it's so hard to break down. I think teams are struggling to break these teams down, and you need that you need those 2 10s, 2 8-stroke 10s in what we might get with Odegaard and Eze. And when we saw Odegaard come on, we saw the game change. It just, we're struggling really. Like, we were cutting through lines suddenly, which we were struggling to do in that second half. So Trossard, for me, I'm surprised we gave him a new contract. I'm surprised we kept him. Luckily we did, because with the injuries, we would have been struggling today. But I don't like seeing him on the starting lineup. I think it makes us a bit predictable. He hasn't really got much pace. Calafiori does well because he can bomb down that wing. I think if him and Skelly both in the same lineup, we're just all too narrow. Everything's cutting in. Everything's coming into the centre. Then you got people like Monster Joe Linton. That's what they want you to do. They want you to start coming in the middle. So then it becomes a physical game, right? So we needed to stretch it today. Tough game. Lineup. I think Arteta's doing well with what he's got at the moment. To have all these players out again, key players, I think we were kind of restricted to what we could start up today. So yeah, I think as well what Nate said resonated about Gyökeres. I would definitely be starting Havertz in these big games. And I've been harsh on Gyökeres because the 3 games where he's looked non-existent has been away to Man United. His first game, he's not quite fit. Quite a tough game, really. I know Man United have looked poor. But then Liverpool and now Newcastle, who before today, had the best defence, right, in the league. It's tough for Gyökeres, but he doesn't look top quality to me, man. I think in these games we need Havertz who can just
Wow, I'm amazed at that.
Really?
Do you think that
I agree,
he's
man.
a bit of a flat track bully?
Yeah.
Where he'll get you the goals against like the Leeds and the Burnleys and all that. He'll get you like 2-3 goals against them, but he struggles in the bigger games.
And if he does do that for us, that's fine, because
Title winning,
that's what we
isn't it?
struggled with last season. That kind of just those results, the Aston Villa one where we had so many chances, couldn't win it, and ended up losing the game. If Gyökeres makes a difference in those games and we turn those draws into wins, that's what he's there for. I think in those major games where we won't dominate the ball as much, Havertz will be first choice for me. It's still early. I know that's after 6 games. Well,
I like
It's
that
annoying.
you guys
I
are
agree.
setting the
I want a
tone.
bit more from him.
I like that you guys are setting the tone about standards, and I think we're definitely we're stewing up to that. And we're gonna come to the comments in the chat very very shortly. Win, I'm just gonna ask you. So it looked quite evident in the early passages of the game that sort of Voltemada was getting involved. He was coming a little bit deeper, collecting the ball, even though he had about 2 or 3 men clinging on his back. Was able to hold up the ball and lay it off. How key do you think he is into the way that we play and the way that we build up?
Well, I did a piece that I didn't watch the pre-match because I was at the match, but I put my take on when I saw the selection, and I was quite happy, very happy with the selection, because to me it gave us options. But what I did say was that if you're playing Voltemada, you've got to get your midfield and your forwards past him as well, because he is exceptional at linking the play. Brilliant with his back to goal, and the little balls that he can shove through are key if we want to utilize him to bed. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time for him to bed in. These things don't happen overnight. We spent 3 years perfecting the art of feeding Isaac. And we've got to change that system completely now, because we haven't got an Isaac there anymore. So it's going to take time, and it hasn't helped, of course, that we buy a player who never had an injury record at all, and he comes to us and gets injured playing for his country, and he hadn't had a game for yet. So that hasn't helped either. You know, there's a lot of mitigating circumstances. With the midfield, you know, we got Ramsey in the midfield. He hasn't been available, but he came with an injury record, so you could kind of expect that, but not as quickly as it happened. I just think, you know, people are panicking way too early as far as Newcastle are concerned. Let's judge this. Let's give it till Christmas anyway. And as I said, last season, when we were going through a bad time, albeit getting results last season, we were playing badly and getting results. This season, we're playing well and not getting results.
Interesting.
And it will change. It will change. We will be within 3 points of Champions League, if not in the Champions League position by Christmas.
That's a
no worries at all about that.
That's a big statement, Win. Dom, I know you're absolutely chomping at the bit. I'm going to let you come in next, but let's get to the comments first. Win, let's go through these if that's all right. Let's have a look at what we got so far, because it looks like the chat's bubbling over.
Yeah, we've got NUFC Truth.
D-Man, I'm done watching my club after 40 years. I can't watch how destroy this team. No attack. 250 million wasted. It's Steve Bruce again. Dom, I'm going to get you to come onto that in a bit. What else have we got? Byrne wasn't great today, but to pin things on him and say he was getting rinsed left, right, and centre is wrong. Interesting. Some loyalty there towards him. How good were Arsenal today? I think we've heard about that enough already. I think you Arsenal fans happy with how Arteta approached the game. So maybe I'll let you boys come on to that after Dom. What else we got next as well? At 1920, Hall should be able to play every day and still do a paper round.
Well, that's on the basis that Eddie said the reason he wasn't even on the bench was because he was fatigued.
Oh my gosh!
Oh wow!
Newcastle needed a creative player. You could argue with Voltemada, we have that. And second number 9 brought in. I do agree with that this season. That's where Howell Fournier saw the season. I think there is a conversation to be had about the transfer window, but I just think we can't talk about that just yet. That's an interesting comment, though. Thanks, Tony.
So, they were the main ones that I'd starred, but if Dom wants to take that one on.
Jefferson, please help me out. Where's the club going under Howe? I don't think I can back this manager. I'm ready to drop off all my Newcastle stuff. Okay, team season. I will come on to that later on because you guys know what I'm about. Dom, you're chomping at the bit. Do you want to come back at Win with what he was talking about earlier?
Right. I've been taking notes. So can you summarize what Win said just so that I can respond to it? Because I'm trying to remember what he said.
Well, what I'm saying is it's going to take time.
Yeah.
For the new striker to be bedded in, and we'll know more about it when we've got another proper number 9 there that we can feed.
Oh, yeah. And you mentioned Ramsey as well being availability. Yeah. So I think the issue we've got with Voltemada is we've bought a striker that doesn't suit how we play. He's so different to any of the strikers we've had previously, whether it's be Isak, Wilson. We've almost bought a Firmino type striker who is perfect if you've got goal scoring wingers. But our wingers don't score goals. That's the issue. Barnes will hit the odd pot shot, but he can't run. I was saying this to you the other day, Jefferson. We've got either wingers that can run and can't shoot, or we've got wingers that can shoot and can't run. That's literally the issue we've got. Gordon, in his last 17 games, has got 2 red cards and 1 goal. And talking about Ramsey and him making a difference, he's missed more games in the last couple of seasons than Joe Willock. And I don't think any Newcastle fan is expecting us to rely on Joe Willock. So why do we think we're going to be able to put a hat on Jacob Ramsey.
Well.
Yes, I think he's looked good in the game he's played.
Because he was never going to be a nailed-on starter. He was always going to be a bench
But people
player.
are talking about him being our creativity in the midfield.
Well, I don't know who was talking about that because
We don't have any creativity in our team. I've said this all summer. We need to go and buy a top number 10. I know we don't play over number 10, but we are so predictable to play against. You know that we're going to try and win it back in midfield and then bomb it down the wing and try and get a cross in. That is literally all we ever do. And then if someone sits deep against us, we don't know what we do. We just pass it side to side and then try and whip a cross in and recycle. And
so how how have we managed to achieve what we've achieved in the last couple of seasons? If we're so bad at doing this thing that is so rubbish,
no.
How have we managed to qualify for the Champions League twice and win our first trophy in 70 years?
I'm not saying we're terrible, right? But we're very.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
We're very predictable. That's what I'm saying. It's very sort of like
most teams are predictable.
How we're going to play. I wouldn't say they're rooted in how they score goals. You know that a lot of our goals are going to come from playing out wide and trying to flash balls across the goal to get tap-ins. Look how many goals last season Isak scored from Murphy whipping across in for Isak to tap it in, or Gordon cutting in to play it across goal for Isak to tap it in. How many goals do you see us create where midfielder will ping a pass through the middle of the park for a striker to run onto?
Well, we don't see enough shooting. I've said that for a long time.
Do you know how many assists Toon Army got last season? And you would say he's our most creative midfielder.
Well, you mate, I wouldn't.
Wasn't it like 5 or something?
2.
Oh, 2. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Look at Nathan's face. Yeah, that's alarming.
But
that's because of the position he's playing in. He's not playing as a 10. He's playing as a 6.
And that's a problem in itself, isn't it? If you look at Arsenal's lineup, they've got 2 flexible 6'8s.
Well, I thought Race was man of the match today. I thought Race was fantastic.
Hell of a player, and it just shows, isn't it? When you invest, it's not just simply Premier League proven, but they've identified key profiles, isn't it, that will improve their team, and that's one thing you have to.
Who just happens to be Premier League proven.
But you have to give Mikel Arteta props because
but he's went and got the best player in the position.
But he also mixes it up, isn't it? He wasn't afraid to get Mosquera, who was young, under 21 international for Spain and cheap, so from abroad. So you got to be willing to do those things. So just coming through the game, then obviously quite early on, we scored the goal, and well, actually, sorry, I tell a lie. Before that, there was the Nick Pope incident. So, boys, did you think it was a penalty when you first saw it?
All day penalty, no?
100%.
When you first saw it, or after the replays?
When I first saw it. So go on, Nathan.
So I was going to say, when I first saw it, I was like 100%. The fact that they were even looking at it, and I was thinking, well, what is there even to look at? Having seen it, it's one of those where you can see how you might possibly make an argument for it not being a pen. But my issue is, why are they looking at it? It's not a clear and obvious error, in my view.
It's one of those, you wanted to see something. So I spoke to a friend who was an ex-professional footballer, and he explained it in a very useful way for me, yeah? When Gyökeres gets that first touch on the ball, he almost knocks it onto Pope, who Pope does get a touch to it, yeah? But then Pope then takes him out. If Pope was to come in on that one action, get the ball, and then on the follow-through, takes him out, that's one action. That's the rules of football is you can do that. You can slide tackle and take the player out afterwards, in a way, like if there's a collision. But the fact that it was a second action, Gyökeres has got there, touched it away from him, Pope's got a little touch on it, and then collided. The final action is the collision, and that's what makes it a penalty. And like
it all looks like one action to me.
It's not. If the fact on VAR, they can slow it down. they can slow it down, and then you see Gyökeres touches it, then you see Pope touches it, and then you see the collision. And it's one of those clear and obvious. I hate that term, but when does that come into play? Like, how much are we debating this now? I'm sure there's people debating this all day. It's going to carry on. They will debating it for ages on VAR as well. That
We'll
debate
be watching Dermot tomorrow morning.
will clear out. Yeah, once he's got that little oil money in his pocket, he'll say probably the right thing. But
Yeah, exactly.
like I was saying, if you lot can,
Go on,
if
Cam.
you lot look at the Man United Chelsea, the Sanchez one last week. If you lot go and check that out, it's very similar.
that was more reckless, though, wasn't it? That was a bit more. There was more to it on that one. I thought,
Yeah,
anyway.
but you see, Sanchez actually touches the ball first, and then the follow through. You know, today I think was slightly similar, but different outcomes. But yeah, I think it was a clear penalty anyway.
Is it
I just thought he got the
Tom?
ball, and his momentum took him through.
When I saw it first, I did think it was a penalty, and then I watched the replay and I saw Pope get the touch, and I was like, well, I don't think it's a penalty.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
But of course,
I don't think it was.
Well, I have a question.
Not that we're biased.
I have a question on it, though. Like,
It's weird, though.
Either
It's like the Salah handball
party.
yesterday. That was a slight touch on Salah.
Oh, that
yesterday,
was
handball.
blatant. I couldn't believe that didn't get given.
And not
no,
only that,
crazy.
there's even an attempt to flick it.
Yeah.
What's the question, Nate?
Nathan?
do you guys feel like if that should incidences like that be ruled out for penalties? Like, if
I think it all depends on whether the keeper gets a touch or not.
Because I kind of feel like, okay, if you really stick to the rules of how things are supposed to be by the book, but I feel like if the player's through on goal, he's nicked the ball away from you, you've taken out the player, I feel like that should be a penalty.
But
It's
Nathan,
kind of like
he's not
a
taking
technical
out the player. He's got the ball. And remember that the goalkeeper is still an outfield player. So if you take their ability to have to compete for the ball, it means they're standing dollies, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I
It'd be
mean?
the
They
same
have
if it
to
was
be
a
able to
defender,
compete
right?
for the ball, isn't it? Yeah. But I see the frustration. But in my opinion, upon the numerous replays, it was very evident that the keeper got a touch on the ball. But I get it. You
I
guys
think
pick your
also as
first.
well, what for me anyway, I won't speak for any other Arsenal fan, but I feel like in the context of kind of having decisions kind of go against us, and things like beginning of last season where Declan gets sent off for kicking the ball a millimeter and things like that, when they happen, it's almost like you're picking at old wounds kind of thing. You feel like a bit hard done by, because I don't know, I thought, here they're looking at it again. What is there to look at? It's a penalty. It's as clear as day. Why do they keep doing this?
Mark was in the chat there saying, if it was the other way around, would you think it was a penalty? Damn right I would.
Yep. Of course, like away.
Come on now.
The one thing I'll not do is come on air and lie.
Yeah.
Well, this game was clearly mired in a little bit of controversy, and at the time we then go on to go 1-0 up, and it was from a delivery, obviously short ball into Tonali from the corner. Tonali whips it in, beautiful delivery into the box, and Volta Messi leaps up and heads it into the goal. Now, VAR described the push on Gabriel as having minimal contact. So, do we all agree with that? I think it was a clear and evident goal. No issue there.
I think even minimals are over exaggeration. I'm well surprised.
To be honest, I was a bit frustrated with Gabriel.
It was soft.
He's got a record for it. Remember a couple of scenes ago when Joe Linton pushed him for that?
No, that was a shove. And
where Willock definitely kept the ball in and crossed it back in. Yeah.
Talking about old wounds, eh? We got to get back in somehow, Dom, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got like
Gabriel
we lost the game
does it all the time.
He's so petulant. For such a good player, he doesn't need to do that. It just seemed like he ducked out the header.
We'll see. Volta might have these super finger power. I don't know. I will tell.
I think Gabriel probably realised, he's looked at the flight of the ball, realised he's not going to get there, and thought, well, what can I do to salvage the situation? And he's
Kind
kind
of
of,
a little touch on his
you look
back.
at someone that size going down that easy, you just think, get up, oh, come on.
He wins that all over the pitch, but
Mm.
in that circumstance, he's just soft, man. But he does that all the time, all the time. He frustrates me with that because he's like Dom said, he's such a quality centre back. He doesn't need to go down there easily. He does it frequently.
Yeah. And I think to what extent do you feel like that impacts us when it comes to sort of refereeing decisions and the crowd gets on top, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, you hear the chants of same old Arsenal always cheating. I wonder to what extent that gets in the ref's mind, and they think, oh, you know, when it sometimes it's genuine. I mean, someone went, you know, foul on Saka quite early on in the game, and it's just nothing.
Joe
Yellow
Linton,
card.
yeah.
But I wonder how much of that is kind of our own fault for instances like that when we are going down a little bit easier than you would expect.
Well, it'd be good to hear from you all how you were feeling at that point, because it was very evident that Arsenal were clearly on top. They were zipping the ball around nicely. There was a nice bit of 1 and 2 touch football. Again, I'm very envious when I watch these teams playing such good football. And it felt like you were purring, and it was just a matter of time. So obviously, when the goal went in, I was delighted because it was clearly against the run of play. So how did you guys feel at that time? And I guess, did you feel like, you know, on the Arsenal side of things, was it just going to be one of those days? And on the Toon side of things, did you think, right, we're going to take this today? We got them.
Well, from a Toon point of view, I just thought, here we go. Seriously, I did. I wasn't. I didn't see this before we took the lead. I didn't see this overwhelming Arsenal superiority that everybody's talking about. I just didn't see it. I thought for the first 20 minutes.
How many saves did Pope make?
Win. Come on. Pope kept us in the game.
I'm telling you what I saw.
Smashed the post, didn't we? A couple minutes before your goal as well with the Trossard.
Trossard, yeah.
Flowing ball.
Pope made one good save.
One. The post.
There was two Eze saves.
No, I'm talking about before we scored.
Save, wasn't it?
Yeah, both our chances. I mean, I was thinking, here we go again, but with a different tone, right? I was like, oh, God. Like, this team, now perfect Newcastle, are just going to sit in, defend, and it's going to be same old. We're just going to struggle to break you lot down. So, yeah, I thought we were going to just mess it up. That's it. It's hard to see us. We haven't got much ability to change games right now when, like with the injuries. I think when our full squad is back, we can make those changes. We can bring on a Madueke and a Martinelli and hopefully a Gyökeres as a sub or a Havertz, whatever, to change the game. But right now, we are still a bit one-dimensional. So I thought you lot were just going to hang on. I thought Eddie Howe responded in the way he should have responded to going up 1-0 after being dominated for like 25 minutes or whatever it was. And yeah, it wasn't a good feeling at that time. I was like, oh, God, we've been here before.
Exactly that. We've been here before. It's like, oh, here we go again. And the longer, you know, again, because we've been here before, even when we're playing relatively well and sort of trying to play our way back into it, the longer that I remember around about sort of 70 minutes, I was kind of like, it's going to be one of those, isn't it? Play well, lose the game, and talk about how we dominated them and all the stuff we don't. You know, it all makes sense, but it just, after 3 years of coming second, you're just not trying to hear it anymore, to be perfect.
Okay, so I think when you look at Nick Pope, we talked about Nick Pope making some really good saves. To be honest, he kept us in the game. Dom, I'm going to ask you, do you think there was a missed opportunity in not playing Ramsdale on the basis of maybe being able to build up attacks on the back, keep possession a bit? Or would you trade that up on the basis that Nick Pope made those saves for us to keep us in the game?
So, I think Ramsdale should have come in a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. But especially in a game like today, when they were at times going quite direct, so they didn't have to play for our midfield. Ramsdale helps you keep possession, especially when he's got Botman and Chow in front of him, who are fantastic ball-playing centre-backs. I felt like we really lost something because whenever Pope gets the ball. Like, you know, you either going to lose the ball or get a throw in or whatever. It's like he's not going to get it to one of his teammates most of the time. And yeah, it's just really frustrating. Do I think Ramsey will make some of the saves that Pope did? I'm not so sure, but I think we would have had more control in the game. But I think it would have helped as
Call
well.
the police. I agree with Dom on something.
Wow.
Wow.
I think as well, if we'd played Trippier and Tino, that would have helped as well, though.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
Let me give you a little
Wow.
insight to Ramsdale. Yeah, as much as I loved him, today is not the day for you lot to play him. He gets too excited. He's too emotional. He would have been well nervous, or something would have gone. He would have made a mistake today.
Well,
So
he had
he
that
was
one
Magpie
great season
final
with you,
event.
didn't he?
he's an excellent keeper. He's an excellent keeper, but he's one of those. His emotions get the better of him all the time. And today he would have been way too emotional.
It's a gift and a curse. He thrives on it, doesn't he? But sometimes it can work against you.
Yeah, you couldn't throw him in today.
If there's any
That seems a
pigeons,
lot. It seems to happen a lot with English goalkeepers, doesn't it? If you look at like the likes of Joe Hart and Jordan Pickford, they all just seem a bit mental. I mean, all goalkeepers are mental, but just very emotional in their game.
Well, there's a lot of, in English coaching, like goalkeepers are, you have to be very vocal. You have to be present. You have to you demand and you control your defense, and you have to be loud, and you have to be a big character. There's not many David Seamans around. Collected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes it just be boring. So, you know, if you're not doing much, sometimes it's a good thing. You don't have to be the center of attention all the time. To a certain degree, Raya does it a little bit too, but in his own kind of way. Sometimes I'm like, Raya, you don't need the piercing, you know, however many yard pass across the pitch. Just roll it out to your fullback. Sometimes it's fine. You know, in one way, it's good that he's always looking forward, but sometimes, you know, the amount of times your heart's in your mouth, just thinking, right.
Yeah, you think he's gonna like drop the shoulder on someone any second now.
Win, I'm going to ask you about a couple of players that I thought impressed today in a short moment. But shall we come back to the comments, because the chat's been really bubbling through. So we've got to show them some love. I'll let you come through with these if you want. You want to read these ones out? What's piqued your interest?
Well, Tony T is saying things may change when Wissa comes back. Well, hopefully it will. We had where was it?
The WWF comment.
Seems we can put up with Ashley fans won't call for Eddie's head. So I'm an Ashley fan because I don't want Eddie out. Bad management and recruitment. Walter Marder can head, but nothing other than that. Well, isn't it strange that out of his 36 Bundesliga
the irony
goals,
is Walter Marder's actually not that good in the air.
No,
Both
exactly.
his goals in the head,
36
not that
goals
good in the air.
36 goals in the Bundesliga, 4 with his head. So heading is not his forte. Ron Waffle, the change required was obvious early on. It was our left. Arsenal targeted Burn over and over and over again. And then Pope started being Pope. Kim Cam.
Big up, Kim Cam. Big up. Big up, Queenie.
Oh, no, that's Queenie talking to King Cam. Sorry. Good. The result leaves a bad taste in your mouth, says Queenie. Hello, Queenie.
Hey, Queenie.
Bogey, I think we should make Win our defensive coach. He is the master of defending the indefensible.
Man like Bogey. What's
Yes,
going on,
Bogey.
matey?
And Mark, I've never heard of a player saying he can't play because of fatigue from a midweek game. Is it Howe's training regime? But didn't Howe only have a light training session after Bradford? He did indeed. I think it's more than fatigue with all. I think there must be an underlying D-man saying, how good were Arsenal today? You Arsenal fans happy now with how Arteta approached the game? Well, you wouldn't have been happy after we scored, I know. Odegaard came on and impressed. I don't think it's one or the other. I think both fit together. I don't know whether he's talking about Odegaard and Rice or Odegaard and
Eze, maybe.
Eze, yeah.
Because Eze can play wide left as well. He has for England. He doesn't have to be in the 10. He can play wide left as well.
Ron Waffle, by the way, we're now 1 winning 6 and 1 winning 9, dating back to Chelsea last season.
Yep.
And they had 9 men. Pull your heads outside your backsides.
Ron, I know for a fact that myself and Dom agree with that. I think our form tailing off from the end of last season through a very poor pre-season where we didn't even win a single game, and then how we've started this season in the Premier League, it's not looking good. And we can't ignore those signs. The
game we won was against Wolves, and we didn't play well against them.
It's concerning. It is.
Yeah.
Arsenal were hungry and waited for Newcastle to tire, and it worked. Great result, and it's results that count. In the end, says Queenie.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Marco 4863. We wasn't robbed. We got beat because we parked the bus. And Pope made his normal cock up.
You know what? That's a good comment. So I want to ask you guys, particularly the sort of Newcastle contingent, and then I'll ask the Arsenal boys what they thought of it. In terms of like the setup, it arguably was a defensive setup at home. So I think indirectly that kind of gives an advantage to mental on the mental side to who you're playing against, because you're kind of over complimenting them when actually historically in recent history we've arguably been better than Arsenal. I'm not talking about in terms of the league, but in terms of head-to-head, we've been the better side. You know, there's that fear there that we can beat them now more consistently. Why are we playing a defensive?
How was it a defensive lineup when we started with Murphy, Voltemada, and Gordon up front in the normal midfield 3? What's defensive about that?
I heard it was 5-3-2 or 5-3.
No, it was 4-3-3.
Was it 4-3-3? 4-3-3 or 3-4-3, whichever way you want to describe it.
The thing is, though, when like you can say about the lineup, that's fine, but it's also about how you approach the game. If you look at how we played Arsenal in recent seasons and the reason we've got success against them, it's because we've got in their faces, we've pressed them, and we've forced them into mistakes. You even saw it today, like, and I'm sure some of the Arsenal lads will agree, like, some of your players have that bit of petulance in them. You see it with Gabriel. And, like, we didn't take advantage of that at all. We just sat off them and waited for them to attack us. That was the difference today. We showed them far too much respect. We didn't press them.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna head out. I've got to work at 4 a.m. so I better get myself to sleep.
Big up,
you later, kid.
Thanks for coming through, Cav. Respect,
Thanks for the invite, though, man.
Take care,
big up.
All
right, we got a 3-on-2 advantage now. Come on.
Yeah, I agree with Win. I don't think it was a defensive approach by Newcastle. You know the Mike Tyson quote that everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. It was like that kind of thing where I think Arsenal this season, I've been critical of Arsenal, yeah, so I should just put that as context, but we're a different beast this year in terms of how we control games, including the game against Liverpool, which we lost, right? Including the game against Man City, which we were trailing for, to the 90 whatever minute. But the way we're controlling games, the way we're dominating space, the way we manage and press is very, very difficult to play against Arsenal this season. And I think Newcastle felt that quite early on. And then when that happens in a match, they're naturally stepping off. And I think they weren't able to put their personality on. They weren't able to clatter us or to rush us in the way that they have in previous seasons. We're much more composed. We're much more organised. Our personality on the pitch is much more defined this year than it has been, which is at the detriment of our attacking fluidity. That's the kind of what we're losing out. But in terms of what teams are experiencing when they're playing against us, we're very hard to impose themselves against us. And I think that's probably what happened to Newcastle, and you went back a bit into your shells a bit because of that. And then with the goal, you've got now a lead, right? It's quite hard to then be like, we're going to play open, expansive football because we've got something to hold on to. So I think it was the context of the game more than the approach for Newcastle that made them defensive.
The thing is, though, like, and I agree, years have been really impressive this season. The thing is that when we start so poorly, and just because we score, he doesn't change it. That's the issue. When you're saying something's not working, at least try and change something. It's been a consistent issue with Eddie Howe, and I'm sure both lads on the Newcastle side, I'll agree. Even Wynne, who loves Eddie and would build him a statue and change the ground to be named after him and all that, would be that Eddie Howe's main weakness as a manager is his loyalty and his game management.
I don't see loyalty being a flaw, but game management has always been a bit of a problem with him.
Yeah, like how many times have we seen it? He doesn't change a game until we start losing.
Or it will be 60th minute or 65
Well,
minutes.
well, hang on. What did he do today? And he's getting criticised for it.
He went defensive, didn't he?
How many times have the critics said, why didn't he just shut up shop?
Not in the 60th minute, though.
Should have done that.
When you got a 1-0 lead.
So I guess
have it both ways. Why don't you?
Because it felt
in setting up defensively, you've also got to give them something to worry about on the other side. When you're taking Voldemort off and bringing Asula on, they basically don't have anyone to mark.
Well, you're saying that. I didn't. That is the option. There ain't no other options.
And I'm sure there's people saying, why is that? But I'm not sure we have enough time to cover that today. But I think there was a bit of a momentum shift, wasn't there? Because I think actually in the second half, when we normally fade early on, or we look like we're asleep or whatever, we actually started quite well those first 5-10 minutes of the second half, actually.
We did.
To a surprise. And I think the momentum changer was when Voldemort come off, we had the substitutions, bang on 65 minutes as to Eddie's style, where we had Trippier, Elanga and Asula come on for Voldemort, Gordon and Murphy. So before I come to the Newcastle fans, I think from an Arsenal perspective, was that a good sign when you saw Voldemort come off, where clearly your defence had been struggling against him for the game?
Yeah, but when I saw Elanga come on, I cracked myself for Elanga against tired legs. That's all we need. I was quite worried about that, but the aerial threat of the striker that come off. But by that point, I've kind of accepted what's going to happen. I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be another one of those games where,
So, and that was one of the 65-minute changes, by the way, Elanga for Murphy.
But I think it speaks to the fact that, how goes back to what Cez was saying. So, we're controlling games and we're, defensively sound. But I just, I wouldn't put very much money on us being able to create very many goals. And it kind of feels like, almost going back to the Man City game, everyone's saying, oh, Pep parked the bus. But I look at it slightly differently. He just thought, well, you lot aren't going to score. So we can score our goal and just sit back and you can just, have your best go at us kind of thing. I can understand the strategy to a degree.
I was worried when Voldemort, where his name is, came off because he barely touched the ball. I know he scored a sheer header, but besides that, he didn't do anything. So,
we've got this is a thing that we've got to realise. It's going to take time for Voldemort to get used to our style and for us to embed him into the side. It ain't going to happen overnight. It was never intended to happen overnight because the original plan would have been for to start Wissa and gradually introduce Voldemort, as Eddie Howe has done with all of his major signings that he's ever bought. Nobody has come in and gone straight into the team.
So I don't think it's a thing of he needs time. I think it's he plays completely different to any of our other strikers, and he just doesn't suit how Eddie Howe sets up. he doesn't get the ball enough to like control games.
It'd be a great plan B to bring on Elanga and Waldemar chasing a game last 10-15 minutes of a game. But starting
he was suited if we played Arsenal's system. Like he'd probably look fantastic in Arsenal's team.
He would be a great 10. Or if you did a 4-4-1-1, have him as the Bergkamp-esque sort of second striker. So that's why I think actually the transformation might come when Visser comes into the team, because then you've got a recognised striker, Voltemar, that can then drop a bit deeper. Because actually, says I disagree. I think first half he was actually getting involved with the play. He was that almost that pivot. He was coming to collect the ball, laying it off, and he was sucking men in, because I think at certain points he had 2 men on him, so that created gaps wide. The only problem is he's come like 30 yards to collect the ball and lay it off, and then he's having a sprint forward to get there, and then there's no one in the box kind of thing.
Jeff, sorry, you're going to get yourself cancelled using the name Bergkamp in the same sentence as Waldemar. I think be careful with things like that.
Is a lot better.
You're going to get kicked off YouTube.
Listen,
outside the ground.
Volta Messi, mate. I don't know if you lot watched the under 21s, but he was the star of the tournament. Him and what's the other guy called, Dom? Is it Stiller?
Oh, Angelo Stiller. What a player.
Those 2 players are going to be exceptional players in the future. We said the same of players like Thomas Müller, Mesut Ozil, who obviously, that have come through for Germany. I think Nick Voltemar is definitely going to be one of those. So obviously then after the changes, Arsenal obviously made some changes, and one of them was Mikel Merino, so who we know very well. And obviously what was quite hurtful was
as we know only too well, our ex-players always come back to haunt us,
didn't they? And it was very similar to the goal he scored for us against Crystal Palace, actually. So what was your thoughts, Nathan, when that equaliser went in?
To be 100% honest with you, I was still vexed. I was still upset. I didn't even celebrate it. I was just like, wow, yeah, draw, great. That's now you want to score goals, yeah. And of course it would be Merino as well. Yeah. I think I let the context and the emotion of that steal my joy in that moment, but I definitely celebrated the second one.
The second, okay, well,
I'm impressed that Merino celebrated. Like, considering how much he's talked up Newcastle in the past, and then he celebrates, bastard.
A bit annoying, wasn't it? I mean, he only left because he was homesick, right? Because he was still
homesick to then come back to England, and playing in Germany before, so I'm sick.
Family club, Arsenal.
So obviously panic stations, because then you're thinking, right, we're gonna then have to hold on. Can we hold on? It's a tremendous effort. At which point, we've got 4 centre backs on the pitch, and despite particularly Botman and Chow having a good game, what did you think at that point? And then obviously, that we concede that soul crushing goal from Gabriel
on 83 minutes, because I was watching the clock by that stage, and on 83 minutes when we made the final change, I think it was, I thought, well, that's okay. I didn't mind. But what time? When did Livramento go off? Was that about 83?
Livramento was a 77th, and then Barnes came on the 90th.
Right. Well, I'm talking about when Livramento went off. And I thought, it's perfectly natural. You just bring Lascelles on in the middle and shove Dan Burn at left back, because, he gets all this stick at left back. And, people forget he was the left back in that side that we had with the best defence in the country for a full season. And Dom doesn't like to hear it. Nobody likes to hear it now, but it's a fact. And listen, every single fullback in the world, the best fullback in the world, will occasionally get skinned by the best wingers in the world. It's a fact of life. That's what wingers do.
Put it into like context for the Arsenal fans watching and the lads. It would be like Mertesacker back in the day for yous being played at fullback. He's the slowest player I've ever seen play for. It's an abomination. I never want to see it again. Otherwise, Eddie can get his P45. I swear to God. He can never play fullback again.
He'll do for me at fullback. I much prefer him at centre half, but I don't have any issues at all with him playing left back. So we'll agree to differ on that one.
So 4 centre backs on the pitch, and yet we still
we
still concede wins. So says obviously, I know this is what you've been waiting for. Gabriel scores the goal, which puts you boys 2 points behind league leaders Liverpool. How were you feeling when that went in?
Like Nathan a bit. There was like a delayed reaction. So, you know, with VAR now as well, you just got to like hold it down for a minute. You feel like an idiot if you celebrate too much. So, but no, once it went in and everything was cleared, ecstatic, man. That's a big result there. It's a big result away to Newcastle, especially how difficult we found it over the years. Huge. We're right back in it. I still make Liverpool favourites, if I'm being honest. I think the Isak signing separates the teams massively.
He's banned here.
He's crap.
He doesn't have a name.
I tell you what,
he doesn't have a name.
I think he's going to be one immense flop at Liverpool. There you go. Because Liverpool will not play to his needs the way we developed for 3 years. Don't.
It's happened to a lot of strikers.
Yeah, it could happen to what's his name? He left Liverpool.
Remember Alexis Sanchez?
Darwin Núñez. When we signed Isak, we were actually after Núñez as well. You know, we're after when Liverpool signed Núñez, we went for Isak instead. It was the roast of the two.
I think he's too good to be a flop. I think he's too good of a footballer. I think he'll find his way. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great.
So, I guess then, obviously, with a gut-punching defeat, and we'll come back to the comments in the chat very shortly. Obviously, a gut-punching defeat, it leaves us 15th with 6 points from 18 available. So that's 6 points from 6 games. D-Man, if you're watching, remember, mate, I said to you, we would have 5 to 6 points from the first 6 games. So again, I was right. So if you're still in the chat, yeah? I'll be seeing you soon. We'll be talking about this real soon. It's not a good start from us, no matter the circumstances. Whereas for Arsenal, they're now pushing on and they're back in the title hunt. So in terms of both our clubs, where do we go from here? You know, and you guys in the chat, are you feeling confident for the games we got ahead?
I've got no, you know, I just don't think it's a catastrophe that everybody's making it out to be. I don't think the start of the season is the catastrophe that everybody's making it out to be. I think there are valid reasons for it all, and they will iron themselves out as they always do, and come the end of the season, we'll be right up where we belong.
The thing is, Win,
where do we belong, Win?
Sorry?
Where do we belong?
We belong in the top 6.
So you think we'll make top 6 come end of the season?
I mean, by rights we don't. If you're talking about spending, you know, the CS player salaries bring points, you know, and it's a pretty straight line graph. The more money you spend on player salaries, the more points you get. And we've consistently outperformed that since Eddie came. And we'll continue to do so. I've got no doubt at all.
He has also spent 650 million on players there.
Yeah, and how much has he recouped? Talk about net spend.
Isak's our only real sale.
We spent less this summer. Net spend. We spent less this summer than Sunderland.
Don't start the net spend away. Now we're sounding like Liverpool fans. Come on, like, look. Nah, I'm not getting into the transfer window because Jefferson, that's a whole other show. I can't.
I just said the transfer window was not the disaster that everybody said it was. You know, if you go through player by player, it was improvement all the way along the line. The only thing we didn't really
performances.
The only thing we didn't really improve was the starting 11. But the bench is beyond recognition.
Is that not an issue? We've spent $250 million, and we haven't improved our team.
Well, because we had to sell Isaac, so we've effectively
So
replaced
we
Isaac
can't
and Wilson
improve our
with Wissa
team.
and Voltemora, who we've never even seen Wissa in a black and white shirt yet, and Voltemora's played 3 games.
We also spent, how much did we spend on Ramsey? Was it 50?
45.
44, yeah.
45. Is he an improvement on the team?
No, but he's not
Is he
going into
better
the
than
team.
Tonali, Joelinton, or Bruno?
He's better than Longstaff, who he's
That's a
replacing.
really low fucking bar.
Well, granted, but he's better than
I'd rather
Longstaff.
play
He's a lot
Jefferson in
better than
midfield than
Longstaff.
I'm actually pretty decent. Says has seen
See,
me
he
play.
scored a nice goal the other day, so, you know.
I say you could
Better than
put a
Longstaff.
highlight reel together of Longstaff, make him look like Messi.
He scored
Is
a banger.
Alanga
He scored
an
a
improvement
banger
in our
yesterday,
team?
Longstaff, by the
He
way.
did.
Is Alanga an improvement in our team?
Alanga for Almiron.
Almiron, who left 18 months ago.
Almiron, who left the last time we spent any money in it since the last time. We haven't spent anything but 3 windows, man.
That's like saying Voltemora is an improvement on Demba Ba.
Well, no, it's not.
What's this logic? Almiron hasn't been here for ages. Is he an improvement on the player that's got the shirt at the minute?
Murphy.
Yeah.
Debatable.
No, come on, Win.
He's not. Come on.
Based on Murphy's goal and assist.
No, they've each got their own skill set.
It's a good signing. It's a good squad signing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Not for 55 million though, dude. We needed to improve our right winger. That's the issue. We could have went and got an Akliush or something like that. But Eddie in his prem proven
How
again.
much was Eze? 60 mil.
Yeah, well, the problem is there's something unattractive about Newcastle right now, right? Teams are not going there. My players are not going there.
Matey, you're a guest in the house. What's going on, mate?
This is we have to face facts.
I want to hear it. I do want to hear it, and I think the fans, our watchers, want to hear it.
I don't know what that's about. Like, what is it? Why do you think players are rejecting?
I think it was just we went for players that the other top 6 teams wanted, and they could offer more wages, basically.
You know, bear in mind, Voltemora was our 6th choice.
But we still spent 70-odd million on him.
Go to Newcastle, you know, because that felt like the better move for Benjamin Sesko than United. But I think it
would have certainly been a better move for Hegedigi.
Yeah, but I think there's something to be said for the kind of brand of a team. Like as poor as United are now, you know, the Man United, the brand,
they can still attract the players.
Yeah, you know, and Bremwo's the proof of that. Sesko.
Interesting.
And it's where we are.
And I guess they wonder
how we are.
they wonder about the sustainability as well. They think, okay, well, Newcastle are going places now. How are the powers that be going to allow that kind of progression? I guess in the sense.
This is why I get so frustrated when we waste transfer windows and make bad signings that don't constantly improve our first team. We're going to end up going backwards because the teams that we were fighting against last season to try and get into the Champions League all improved their starting 11s, not their benches. We've just improved our bench and we've lost a world-class striker.
Because they all outspent us.
We spent $250 million though. We could have improved our team if we wanted to.
We spent 125 net.
Oh, Win, come on. I think we were
we still spent 250 million though.
I think we're the 3rd highest spenders in the summer, weren't we? 3rd or
I saw a figure the other day.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Our squad is worth 40 million less in paid transfer fees than Real Madrid's.
Wow.
Real Madrid get a lot of free transfers though.
But like even so,
look at them though. They were able to buy the likes of Camavinga for 22 million. They got Valverde for like 12 million. You know, they've been very, very smart about when they have spent money. And I think there's something that this is where Eddie falls short a little bit. I do feel he runs us like he runs Bournemouth. He's not at a mid-table club anymore. So
Yeah,
it's not
also
a
Real Madrid
it's
are
not
Real Madrid though. So when they come in with their, they can come in with their lowball offers, and the players have already decided what they want to do. I'm not sure Newcastle have that same.
But it's not about that. It's about
no
like
strategy.
smarter
No
scouting.
strategy. No scouting. There's a lack of strategy, and we're not getting the right profile of player that will improve the team. So at the moment, we play high energy, physical, intense press. Now,
not
as
this
you see,
old chestnut
you
again.
guys have numerous options where you talked about threading the ball through the eye of a needle earlier. Says at best you can maybe say Tonali. Bruno's better when he's a bit further closer to goal. Lewis Miley maybe, but he doesn't play enough games. So we really evidently needed that sort of number 10 style player, attacking midfielder, or a goal scoring midfielder. We didn't get that. We've flaked 55 million on both Elanga and Visser. And we're talking about we're buying players from arguably mid-table clubs, and you spending 110 million when you could have scouted and got players from the likes of South America. For example, Willian Esteval cost cheaper than Elanga, and he's going to be a world star. Rayan Churchy, he was only about 35 million at City. Loads of clubs were linked. He nearly went to Fulham, I think it was, before
Look,
he ended up going
look
to
at that
City.
Kevin lad that Fulham have signed. He looks class.
Yeah, so
And
it's doable.
PSG paid 5 million more for Kvaratskhelia than we paid for Elanga. The fees we are paying for players just because they're prem proven is mental.
And we would have
No, it's also the fees you get asked when you're a Premier League team.
But
why
in
do
the-
no other teams
Let's
have
have
this
a
issue?
quick
then?
look at these. Last look at the
last few comments.
at the comments. Yeah, we've got Queenie saying, "Good. I'm good with the result. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth as a fan. That's all." Tony T. So many things may change when West back. I think we did that one.
Maybe, yeah.
Ramsdale was young at Arsenal. Last season, he made 0 errors that led to goals. He needs to come in and replace Pope.
I think he only played like 2 games last season, so
he didn't play.
I'm not going to disagree. Right. No, that was at Southampton. I assume he's talking.
Right.
Championship. If not Newcastle, I don't mind Arsenal winning it. There you go. You can't shut up shop against Arsenal. We invited them on, and Arsenal grabbed that invitation.
Yeah, there was a bit of naivety about that approach, I think. Yeah.
I think lots of teams have
Eddie Howe, with all his faults, he brings stability. After him, it will be mayhem and a roller coaster. I absolutely agree. Newcastle left and right wings are mainly devoid of creativity and critically goals.
Speed merchant.
How much have we spent on wingers in the last couple of years?
Why can we not manage games after 4 years of Eddie Howe? They were all
well
of
said,
the ones.
Cam. Well said.
Yeah, listen, that's I've always pointed at that as one of his flaws, but all of his superpowers outweigh the odd flaw that he has, in my opinion.
Well, you know what I mean? He's the Arteta sexual for our fan base. He's our tie.
The Lego head.
I am the eagle.
The Lego head.
The eagle
That's not
has
a good
landed.
comparison. That's not a good thing to be compared to when.
Says Nathan, real quick before we jump off, Arsenal to win the league, yes or no?
No.
I would say no, if I'm being honest. I still think Liverpool.
I still think Arsenal struggle to be in the Champions League.
What, as in top four?
Win, shut up, man.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to say yes. And the reason I'm going to say
team.
Is because of what we've seen so far this season. I don't think... I understand what Cess is saying about Isak being the game changer, but we've seen big players go, change from club to club. I mentioned Torres years ago, moving from Liverpool to Chelsea, and it not really working that well for me. It doesn't always work out, and I think someone had said that, when Isak was at Newcastle, it was sort of set up for him. So I think in the absence of that really, going pop, I would say it's pretty even Stevens. And I think in terms of a squad and the run that we can now go on, I think I fancy our chances if Arsenal don't do an Arsenal and lose next week to West Ham. But yeah,
I think he's
I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna go for.
We've got the better squad, and we've got the more stable team. Liverpool have still got a gel, and that could always go wrong. We know that. The way I see it is, if we get 85 plus points or around that, I have no qualms about the season. Because I think if Liverpool win the league with 90 plus points or close to that, then hats off to them. You can't say nothing.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be one of those seasons. It'll be Liverpool and Arsenal neck and neck to the end.
I don't think any team will get 90 points this season.
No, too competitive.
I think the Liverpool are a Van Dijk injury away from disaster because they don't have the cover. All you have to do this season is be consistent. That's all you have to do. Don't drop stupid points like you usually do against Southampton or West Ham or whatever. Like, just get results in them games, and I think he's will win it. I don't like your manager. I think he's a bit of a bell end, but he's got the quality team.
He is a proper.
He's done the hard work though. He's had the really hard.
But he spent a lot as well, though. The same way Liverpool go on about the Coutinho money, you lot keep going on about, he got rid of Lacazette, he got rid of Guendouzi. That's years ago now. Like, he can't keep spending. This has to be a season. He doesn't win anything. He's got to go.
No chance.
I don't know. Even, what's his name? Even Thierry Henry was saying it. Even Thierry Henry was like, you got to win something now. Like, and that's your best ever player. Do you know what I mean?
Henry didn't say he's got to go.
He did.
He
said he's got to go.
You need to watch the whole interview, Jeff. If you've not watched the whole thing, he didn't say he's got to go. He said the building the house. That comment, he goes, the house is big now, right? He was saying it's time to win. They've got to take the step, but he's not at any point said Arteta needs to go. He's praised him to the high heavens. He's like, what this guy's doing at Arsenal, the job he's doing is amazing. They just now need to get it over the line.
And also,
spent £1 billion, guys. Yeah.
That's football these days.
There's a lot of managers out there. Like, again, he ain't elite, Arteta. The same way we go on about, I think there's equal stubbornness. Eddie definitely ain't elite, and Lego Head ain't either. You know what I mean?
There's been some missed Baltimore and Bergkamp in the same sentence, and now Eddie Howe and Arteta in the same sentence.
You wouldn't see Bergkamp scoring a header like Voldemort did.
Yeah, man.
He did. Yeah. In the Champions League. There you go.
Win, Dom. Win, Dom. Champions League, yes or no? Do we finish top 4? Yes or no?
Nowhere near.
Win?
Champions League as in...
Do we finish top 4 this season?
I think we'll finish top 5.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, that's a no to top 4, but potentially top 5. All right.
Champions League, definitely.
I would like to ask the Arsenal fans what you thought of the Gabriel tussle with Voldemort and potential elbow. Do you think he was lucky steal the field?
Sure. Similar to Lascelles trying to do what's that, mandible claw on.
That was mad.
Know what he was doing.
Lascelles has got history, man. Lascelles has got history.
Oh dear! Classic mankind.
He was nothing. He's waved his hand. I don't think he's purposefully gone out to punch him. I think he's one of those who's waved his hand, and he has caught him, but I don't think he meant to do it.
This day and age.
Yeah, it could have been.
Went home with 90's Magpie at the same time. Free transfer.
Lee, you talk about win, yeah, free transfer, man. I think
after loan deal.
After him and Chris's Royal Rumble today, I think he's come to the safe haven of 90's.
The safe haven of Jefferson and Dom. Why?
I can't wait to see the part 2 of you and Chris. But yeah, I think we'll call it there.
Can I just jump in, Jeff?
Yeah, go for it. Says yeah.
I'll have a sleepless night if I don't do this. Like, just completely debunk the whole Saka thing. I've just read it all up. He went to a match one time with his dad, and that's it. That's the only thing. His dad was a Newcastle fan.
Once you go to St. James's Park, that's it.
Come on, boys. You know, I need to get some.
This guy.
Desperate times,
Us,
man.
I'm a Newcastle fan, you know.
Desperate times.
That's what I've heard, innit? I've heard he loves the club. That's what I've
His
heard.
dad
innit?
was a Newcastle fan and he took him to a game once. I used to go to Leighton Orient when I was a kid. I wasn't a Leighton Orient fan.
That was burning him. That was burning him. He did not
no.
like that one.
I've read
He
about
did not
10
like that one.
articles while we're doing this.
This guy.
That's not It's been fun.
Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll see if we'll get you on for the reverse fixture as well. So yeah, it was great having you on. Nathan, do you want to plug? You want to plug your other channel? You're a bit active on YouTube, aren't you?
Yeah, I can do. Nate Candy at Nate Candy. It's got some fitness stuff on there. It's got some random stuff on there. So check it out.
Make sure you guys
Nate
give that
can
a follow.
do.
And if you haven't already, before we jump off, make sure you hit those likes. Win, thanks for sharing with me today. Loved having you with us. And Dom, always a pleasure. So I think it's time to bounce, but we will be back, I think, for review of the Champions League game midweek. And hopefully D-Man should be back by then. So until then, we out.
We out.
Yes.
Ciao,
Peace.
ciao. How are the lads?
Away the lads.
We're the lads.